the truth.
Wow, look at there. All right, I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh, I can't forget the date because the government told me what the date is. They're always right. They're here to help you. We'll call it May 29th. It's a Friday, 2026. All right, guys. Well, by the way, it's still 2018 in Ethiopia, so you can do the math wherever you want. That is a real thing. It's not made up. Sounds made up, but it's not. All right. Well, I was looking through today's news, and a lot of this whole thing with Iran seems... Okay, wait just a second. Like Monday, Tuesday, we're talking about, oh, no, the world's coming to an end. We're not going to make it. And, all last week before, nuclear war, we're all going to die. Panacea, it's going to be horrific. All the cats laying with dogs and dogs laying with cats. It's horrible. And then Trump says, we're not going to do anything for 60 days. We're going to work out some terms. Where's all the hysteria? I don't know. To me, it seems like we really should be paying attention to, like, this horrific moment in time, right? How dare you do a ceasefire for 60 days? By the way, guys, have any of you guys ever written a peace agreement? I mean, like a real one. Maybe some of my listeners have. I did. You guys need to speak up. But I would wonder if we all really understand what terms of agreement really mean in these. These are usually pretty... They're not on a Post-it note or something. They're not over here going, oh, hold on. All right, hold on. Now, what did you want? You wanted fries with that? That's not how that works. And again, a lot of this is just pomp and circumstance. This really doesn't mean a lot, but can't figure out which one I want. Oh, Brent says, are you eating crackers or snickerdoodle? Oh, no, I love a snickerdoodle, but no, those were just some old Lance crackers there, left over from the float trip, so I was eating those they're left over from the float trip. But anyway, they're good. They're not good, but they're good. Anyway, but I don't think any of us really understand. Guys, let's do this. I try to get analogies so everybody kind of lands the plane a little bit on where we're coming from on all these things, but I do believe that we all kind of forget how messy things can be because everybody who is negotiating in good faith are human beings. And they all have to go pee-pee, and they all got to go poo-poo, and they all got to go sleepy, and they all have to eaty, and all that stuff, right? And they're going to put their thumb on whatever scale they can. And that's how people work. It's very hard to get somebody who's really not into it for themselves. And even those that are trying to be selfless, at the same time, still, there may be some benefit, right? Then they say, oh, look, so you did that for your benefit. It's like, well, shit, it happens. These are human beings who have immense pride, who basically got their front door kicked in, and then we're in there like, hey, have you heard of Jesus? Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Here's a track and how you can accept him into your heart. I mean, guys, it's a little bit hard what we've done. Now, granted, the people I know a lot of. It's really kind of interesting how many Iranians I actually know, and most of them have been my friends probably in the last 5 to 6 years. Some really amazing people, people I thought were pretty cool. Anyway, but they have a certain opinion of things. But the problem is that, I mean, if you're a leader of any kind, even if you're just the one that still wants the regime change, right? You're okay with it. It's still your country. You still kind of peed on my fence, kind of deal, America. You kind of made me look like a fool. So I can imagine that there's going to have to be some flexing back and forth a little bit. I mean, we can't be just naive and believe that it's always one side. It just doesn't work that way. So anyway, I just don't know. This whole thing, it's kind of weird. There's been some real climactic speeches and things and people pontificating about different stuff, and I really haven't seen the sky fall in yet. And there's things I don't like. There's things I'm sure other people like and don't like. But at the end of the day, guys, there's a lot of good things that are happening, and there's some other things I'm still not sure about. Now, my guest yesterday, we talked a little bit about everything. Like we talked about aliens, we talked about the Bible, we talked about the different pillars he was talking about society. I'm looking forward to reading his book. I really do want to get into that and see how he got that all worked out, and so I'm looking forward to that. But I don't know what it looks like, because everybody's going to forget about this as soon as oil is back down in that $70 range, $60 range. But I do know that there is a reshuffling of the deck, and a lot of things that we look at is in heating oil and other types of things. Remember Nord Stream pipeline, that whole thing where supposedly the Russians did it, but we did it? No, the Ukrainians did it. Wait, the Ukrainians don't have technology. So we did it, but let them take credit. Okay, that's how. So we did it, but let the Ukrainians take credit. Wait, I thought the Russians did it. Oh, man, I can't keep all that straight. Anyway. Well, we still don't have that pipeline going like we're supposed to, or whatever it is. Hey, Dave Glovin, good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. So there's going to be, there's some reshuffling of shipping lanes and agreements and things of that nature. And this is kind of one of those deals where it was a huge eye-opener for the European Union people, not really the leadership. The leadership did get they did get pantsed. We do know that the emperor is wearing no clothes, right? So we'll see how that weakness comes out. I don't know. I think it's been good. I think there's been some things that kind of reshuffles the deck and kind of gets everybody back in line. All right, hey, everybody calm down. No, you're not all special. I know Uncle Barry made you guys all believe that a community organizer can just be president one day. And you all think because you went and voted, you should be president as well. It's kind of I am amazed by the ego. I had someone just 2 days ago ask me if I would run for office, and I said, "What?" My background, there's no way. I don't see how I could be able to do it. But anyway, they reassured me like, "Oh no, man, it'd be great." And I'm like, "Oh, I'd be great. I'd love to do it. I'd love to be a legislator. I'd love to be in there. You get me up there somewhere in a cabinet, something. I don't care. I'll shake the trees." Guys, they've already done it. But anyway, I don't want to play that game. I would. If I was in there, I would go hard. I would make sure that we exposed everything. It would just be what everybody's trying to be. Just like when they got rid of Massey. See, everybody got all happy, joy, because Massey's out or Massey this and blah, blah, blah. Oh, Trump didn't like him. I think that there's more to it, and I don't think Trump didn't. I know Trump said he didn't like him, but I am wondering, there's something else afoot on that whole Massey thing, because Trump didn't like him, but didn't like him like he didn't. So he doesn't like Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, that's a whole thing, right? But the way he kind of went after him, it seems like he just kind of helped pushing him out, or gave him an off-ramp to get away. And I don't know, because then now Massey's talking about all kinds of other stuff and other positions. So I don't know, guys. I don't know all the backdoor deals and all that stuff, but I do know there's a lot of games that are played, and we may not understand all of it. The problem is I'd probably be really good at dealing with those people because I don't know all the games. I don't understand I don't understand why these people want to sell themselves out all the time. They can't just be authentic. And to me, that just doesn't make sense. But so we'll see how the Iranian thing comes down. I know oil prices are dropping, and they'll continue to drop. By the way, you do understand that that's a speculative price, and not all oil exactly sells for that price. That's an averaging or offer price. That is not actually what it really gets sold for. So there are variables in some of that. And remember, one of the things that we got out of the White House is like, hey, well, we'll just get rid of the 10% federal tax, and then you'll really know exactly how much all your states are really charging you per gallon of gasoline. And that got a lot of governors all bent out of shape. I don't know if you guys remember that 2 weeks ago. That actually went around. See, to me, I think a lot of times Trump will do it just like a whack-a-mole thing. He says, I got to get rid of that 10%. Let's see what the states look like, and just to see how many of them all pop up and do weird stuff, right? Kind of tell on themselves. I think he does a good job with that. But anyway, Dave goes, Washington, D.C., the political theater capital of the world. Well, yeah, give them fishes and loaves, right? Give them bread. Give them the games. Wasn't that what Caesar did, right? Give them the games. Give them the football, the baseball, the basketball. By the way, guys, it's Friday, right? Can we go a little? I did wear a T-shirt for the show today. I'm just kind of casualing it out here. But I don't talk about sports very often. I did it the other day. I was like, yeah, Chiefs fan now, Royals fan. But when I say fan, I don't have anything of their stuff really. But anyway, the NBA. Can we have this conversation? I mean, they're getting ready to go into their last game of the semifinals, and then they got the actual final games coming up. And can we just say that, they have really, I think LeBron James' influence and effect of flopping and the drama and barking down the referees and things like that, I really think that the NBA has really lost its way. I think the WNBA has had a golden goose in Caitlin Clark and didn't lean into it. They could have made her a thing, her and her buddy, and they could have been out there doing. They got some sweethearts on those teams. But the sad part of it is this Angel Reese has hijacked the WNBA, and she's got some walleye something going on, and it takes away from it. I was never a fan of WNBA, but Caitlin Clark make me look. At least I was going to look, and then all of a sudden I just see what they're doing over there. But then when everybody's a hot shot, everybody's fouling, doing triple, they grab the ball, they put it under their arm like they're a linebacker, and they run to the hoop. I don't know what that is anymore. And so this is just me kind of airing some grievances with the NBA, like they give two shits about what I have to say, but I just wonder, guys, what have they done? I was commenting the other day, I would rather go watch the Harlem Globetrotters because at least I know they're trying to be goofy about it, and it's a lot of fun to watch. But when the NBA just gets back to here's the thing. If I flopped like that, I would feel like the biggest girl. I can't, I'd be like, dude, you fouled me? The guy's elbowed me or, doing some chopping or whatever. It's like, dude, you fouled me? It's like foul, you let it go. But you don't go flopping across the floor and do the whole hold your head, especially in today's society when you're an NBA and there's 29 million 8K cameras looking at your every cell of your body and you think you can fake away a touch. Anyway, I guess that's just my grievance. I hate the dramatic effect. I think the NBA has turned into nothing but just a bunch of grown-ass tall men who don't play defense, who, when they get touched, flop around like fish on a dock. I just don't like it. I don't know. I grew up, I looked at, like Larry Bird and and Michael and Magic and Kareem and those guys. I feel like I was never a basketball fan, but I feel like they put the work in. But now you can just flop. Everything's a flop, and that's just unfortunate. And then the NFL is now protecting the quarterback too much. And so to me, I guess at the end of the day, it's all very weird. Like all of our games are getting softer. These games were all meant to be really difficult and really painful, and they were meant to challenge you. I mean, golf wasn't supposed to be worn around in these little golf carts and having fun. It was meant to challenge you. It was an experience to struggle through this. The NFL was played on dirt fields. I mean, but no, we now have manicured, and we got Pebble Tech with the rubber little BBs and the right plastic grass and the right humidity, and so where do we struggle? I mean, jeez. Some of these baseball fields, I mean, it's amazing what they put into them. But I don't know, guys. I think somewhere along the line we started getting too soft, and I'm not saying that we want to kill each other and this and that, but there's got to be somewhere where we find the part where we used to challenge ourselves and people were like really trying. It was a difficult game. It was a difficult thing to achieve, and not that some of these guys aren't doing this in amazing feats, right? But again, but I don't know what I'm complaining about there. I just wish the NBA would get themselves together. That was my kind of highlight of the whole thing, was that I like the NHL. I like what they've done. It's really confusing because it seems like there's a lot of games on at the exact same time in the NHL, and I'm sure that happens in the Major League Baseball, but NHL doesn't have enough teams to be doing that. Really, they could really spread it out, but what do I know? But yeah, the NBA, that was just my gripe. I don't know. I just think the NBA's lost their way on that whole thing. And then their commissioner looks like an alien. Jeez. And so anyway, that was just kind of my comment on that. We'll see how that goes. All right. Now, did you guys catch Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent the other day when he was talking? He was doing the press secretary thing, and because Caroline Levitt is out with her baby maternity leave stuff. And they asked him about presidency and this and that, and then he goes, well, yeah, you're running out of political real estate. You can only keep moving in one direction. He goes, and I have I'm not going anywhere from here, like something like that. He's very clever. I say clever. These are all very intelligent answers. I believe he means everything he says. I really do dig how he is. And I think if you guys give him a listen, when you get a chance to listen to him, you'll see what I mean by the fact that he really does he has a heart about something. And I have ran into a few guys like this, and they're usually like your CFOs. They're kind of the kind of the behind the scenes financial guy. That they're kind of they're the accountants, and to them they don't mind getting in the right tax bracket. They don't mind doing this and that, but they do mind when they know someone is flagrantly like thumbing their nose or giving the finger to the government or giving their that to the employees and he has a certain morality about him that I see, and there are men that are like this, and they'll go out of their way. They have this certain morality about they'll cuss and laugh and this and that, but there's a real line in there. And I think with him being in the Treasury, because he wants to write it, he wants to get it right so it does have the integrity. He wants the Treasury to have honor and dignity, and to him, it means so much to his moral fiber that he wants to get and expose. So one of the things I exposed 8 years ago, and I still have my original episodes of the Jim Price Show, and I need to probably go back into that archive and look. But I talked about Act Blue, And Act Blue is now becoming it's becoming a focus. And the reason I know that is, one, because they have had that conversation they've had that conversation out loud about certain groups, and they did mention Act Blue about a year ago. And I'm like, yeah, get it. And then that was it. Like, it was like one little blip. And I was like, whoa, what happened to Act Blue? Let's do that. So what I was reporting 8 years ago, and this was back when I very, very first started, because I had them, so the Democrat National Committee, by the way, guys, when you want to know that you, like, they end up telling on themselves, but the Democrat National Committee ran 12 full-color, glossy, double-sided flyers on me, and they are $12,000 per mailer. The Democrat National Committee, not the Sedgwick County, not the Kansas Democrat National Committee, but the Democrat National, the big one, spent that much just on my election alone. So when you see them do that, they tell on you. But what I did find out is I started tracing, and I looked into it, and that's where I came across Act Blue. And guys, I will tell you, the biggest machine behind this weird financial machine of money and just weird stuff is Act Blue. It's a guy behind the curtain kind of thing. And I think once you start seeing this, it's going to start really coming out a little more. But Act Blue is a big, big part of. This was back in 2016 when I knew about this. I knew about it in 2016, and I learned more about it in 2018. And in 2019, I had actually figured out that's where there's a ton of unions that are taking their money and putting it into Act Blue. Act Blue holds the money for them. They're like the mothership of retirement and union dues and government money. Act Blue has got their hands in a lot of stuff. And maybe they've shed some of that. I don't know. But back when I looked at them originally, not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So anyway, just I do believe that this is a thing. So what happened, the reason that come to mind is that Treasury Secretary Bassett told reporters on Thursday that long-awaited result of the Treasury report and the FBI investigation into backers of the far-left militia group like Antifa will be released soon. We've made substantial progress. I think in the weeks and months ahead, we're going to have a lot to report. So, this is a big deal and all that. Now, let's see how long this. Let me go ahead and play this one for you. Do you guys want it? Anyway, so we will continue to get to the bottom of the who is funding these organizations and this and organized anarchy against our country and government. So this is again where there's some things out there that we've all known and kind of held our breath about and bit our lip or whatever, bit our tongue and didn't say like, okay, well, we're going to let it happen. We're okay. Guys, I don't know how there's a certain air of confidence that something's going on. And I will tell you right now, I remember this time in Trump's first term, remember the guy in Florida with the van with all the Trump stickers all over it and the FBI guy trying to hold the blue tarp on the back of the transporter. Do you remember all that? There's nobody on earth. There's an FBI agent holding a tarp down on a van going down the freeway on the back of a transporter that just was picked up at a supposed pipe bomber's house. Do you guys remember the pipe bombers that were sending him to Pelosi and Soros and Hillary Clinton? They all got these pipe bombs. Remember all this? And then they traced it to some guy who just happened to have transferred his house over to a girlfriend he's only been involved with for 2 months. And then that guy's, where's he at? I've asked this question. I don't know if I have the answer or not. Supposedly, there was a guy who was it that I had on the show here recently that said that he knew where that guy was at. Where's he at? Okay, that's fine. But remember, we were dealing with pipe bombers. Remember that? That whole pipe bomber summer there we had? Oh, Democrats are scared of the Republicans because they send pipe bombs. Oh, Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton and George Soros are all under protective custody to keep them safe. You guys don't remember all that? See, we're getting ready to go into the whole idea of this was the year of COVID, right? In Trump's era. The first one, wasn't it? See, this was right here's when they started shutting everything down in his first term. Guys, I think that they have made up things that they say they have, and I don't know, man. I know there's some goofy things out there. I don't know. I think we're missing something, and I think that maybe some more disclosure is going to come out about how we actually can be affected, and how dumbed down they have kept us, and how limitless we really are. And not limitless in a way that allows for ego, because I think the key to the limitlessness of the human mind and the human body is the lack of ego. Because when you let go of yourself and you no longer are, lying to yourself, and that when you get into that part of it, I think that's where that comes in. I think Scott Bessett's going to be a guy that I believe is going to be amazing in the future, and I don't know what he wants to do, but I would like to meet him and maybe someday get to interview the guy. He really does impress me, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I could get him to crack or to get to talking in a way that would allow me to get something, a little more out of him than other people do. But I do believe that he is doing what he's doing because he believes it's the moral thing to do, not because Trump has asked him to. And by the way, I think that's what makes Bessett completely different. And in the same way, I think even Hexeth has. Hexeth has a certain amount of this, hey, I will always be beholden for you to put me here, but this is my job. This is my thing. And I think Scott has that morality code within him that it's really not about a Trump agenda. It's literally about the ones and zero, or the ones and the zeros of adding and subtracting. He wants to make sure the money is where it's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be assigned to here, and it's followed to here, and it really went to here. He just wants it to be real. And I think that that's a thing about him that will expose all this. And so when you do see where the money has been misused and misplaced and misdirected and all those things, you're going to run right into Act Blue. You're going to run into who's financing these different organizations that have created this chaos in our country. And the sad part of it is, guys, we do this globally. And then we're over here going, Antifa, what? How did this happen to us? Oh, it's not our government. These are radicalized children who, oh my gosh. And they're like, no, look, they're paying these people to do this. Oh, no, that's not real. It's all propaganda. Oh, conspiracy theorists. Guys, we did it to Venezuela. We've done it to Iraq and Afghanistan. We've done it to Iran. We did it to Iran. Guys, we're part of what happened to Iran, so don't go out there like we didn't create exactly what's there. We created a void. They filled it in. We left it fester. Why? Because I do believe we're going to find out some other things were going on again. We are exposing a lot of sins in this earth, and I will believe that the Ukraine is going to be the part of that exposure here at the very end. And the sad part of it is there's a country that has an export of diamonds that is their number one export, and I do believe there's going to be something that's going to come out in the Ukrainian thing. Once we have this little peace agreement with Ukraine and Russia, once this is finalized, that's when the doors open up, right? That's when all the floodgates come out, all the real stories, all the real what happens. So anyway, but sad part of it is we can't get that out right now because everybody gets shut down, right? Can't tell the truth. You can tell the truth post after everybody's dead, not before they were dying or while they were dying. You have to wait till everybody's dead, and then you can kind of talk about it later. Oh, man, it is a sad, sad thing. Hey, Charlie Francis, good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Terrence Williams, good to see you. Thank you so much. So when and again, guys, here's the thing. I want to give you guys the highlights, right, of seeing these little blips that they come up with on the news and things you may hear about, and whether you do or not, or whether I'm the only one that you hear news from. I only want to give you that these things are happening, right? I don't want you to ever think of like, well, the reason I'm bringing these to you is because it sounds like, okay, this is what they're doing now, and this is where they're going here. Now they're going to want us to believe this. What happened to the murder hornets? What happened to the fleas and the ticks? And then we had we've had Ebola, we've had all these different things. And the sad part of it is that why? This fear factor effect of it. Now, guys, listen. You can believe in the Bible, not believe in the Bible. I can say, hey, I don't believe in the Bible at all. I don't believe it. No, I don't believe a thing. But there are wisdoms in there, right? We understand that when two or more come together, and I will be with you, meaning that your energy is magnified. Hell, that's physics, right? But the problem with the Bible is, and I lost where I was going to go with that whole thing. I apologize. I was getting ready to have a thing, and I just went off the rails. I don't know if you guys can get me back. That'd be great. I can't believe I just lost that, but I hate when I do that right in the middle of the show. Had a little blip there, right? It is the end of the week, and I be truthful a little bit. I have been a little bit slight of sleep this week. All right, somebody got to help me out there. I can't remember what I was saying. Will it come back to me? I don't know. I got an amen out of Charlie, so whatever the film delay is on this, hopefully they'll catch up and see what I said. I'm so good at this. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. I think it was about Antifa or something, wasn't it? Oh, you talked about the book of wisdom. 1 + 1 is 3. Oh, I know. I was going to say something. I was going to metaphor something, and I completely forgot what it was. God dang it. Anyway, it was something before that. That's all right. You guys are all killing me now with your comments. Oh, Donna, good to see you here. Good to see you, Donna Mary Hatfield McCoy. Good to see you. Oh, it does happen. All right. Oh, we were talking about Ebola. Oh, fear. That's what it was. Thank you. Golly. That was so simple. Thank you. So in the Bible, we can use it metaphorically however you want, but in the Bible it says 364 times or 365 times that you cannot live in fear. Thou shalt not live in fear. Like these are your commands, right? So in the Bible, it's telling you to do that, but the problem is that if you just take this as a book of literary and you say, whoa, why does this book tell me over and 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 over again to not live in fear? Something about this is a reoccurring compilation of ideas, correct? Now, you can believe it, and it says the Lord of God says that God told you not to live in fear. So then again, what are you doing? But this is how they control us. This is how we are the chattel that are so easily moved and moved about. Let my inner spirit, Charlie says, you were letting your inner spirit speak. Yes, I know. I get a little on that sometimes, don't I? If we have to be told over and over and over again, don't live in fear, right? That's something that someone, like I said, let's just say it's a literary, let's say it's not God's word, it's just a book. It's a compilation of things. And there's, for some reason, over and over and over again in these different books, it says this. Well, there's a reason, right? Well, then I guess want to loop back on that. It's like, guys, we all give a lot of faith and a lot of this and that, but then when it's excuse me, a little vibration in the back of my throat. When it's the things that that will help us the most, it seems like those are the ones we run from the easiest. And I mean that because a lot of times the work that we have to do is usually just the work that's in front of us. It's just the necessary work. And so many times we run away from that. So why don't we try to find those positives and we find those ways to live dangerously, to live young? Because see, here's the other part of that is to live dangerously is being young. That's how you stay young, guys, is to do dangerous things, to do things that are dangerous. That's the entire thing. And by the way, that's also not living in fear, because then you do things that you fear so you don't have those anymore. That was a lot of what this was. Probably 90% of what I was doing on the air when I first started out was really doing it because I was afraid of doing it. It was weird. Like I would just do it, and to me it was very therapeutic. But I just did it because, and every time I would sit here and I would just say, oh, I don't want to do this, and it was like, I don't, it's the risk, right? And it is dangerous because there's things I've said that I misspoke. I went back and listened to a couple of things I said in the past. I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to say it that way, or what I meant to say, or I should have said this with that. And I get very critical of myself, but in the very beginning of this, it was just absolute terror. I would go up and speak and almost feel like I would tell you, I don't know what I just said, because I was just in this, I was just in so much fear of public speaking, doing the show. I mean, there's still, that risk is still there today. I still have that same feeling. It's not as intense as it used to be, but it's still there. And then that's what keeps me trying to think how to make sure I get a better message out there and do those things, right? But to do things that you fear, that is youth. Isn't that what kids do on bicycles and with plywood and cinder blocks? Isn't that what turns into a motorcycle, turns into a car, turns into an airplane, turns into a rocket, turns into a spaceship? It's just doing more dangerous shit. Like, well, we stop doing that as we get older. Do we? Well, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't give over those jobs to the youth. Maybe we should be able to still go out there and do dangerous things and figure that out. You've got to accentuate the positive, says Dave Glovin. Absolutely, Dave. And that's that language style is difficult to try to find that. It's like oh hey, and it's the analogy. Oh, you broke seven fractures. Well, but I didn't hit my head as hard. I'm still here. See, I mean, it's like there's a negative in there, but no, in reality, it's like, hey, it's okay. And I've had to relearn a few things about myself and things like that. I've had to, slow down on a couple things. Not a lot, but some things. So, had an interview today. Good job, Terrence. Good job. Hope that went well for you, sir. I do look like I'm going to have, I wanted to put this out there real quick. I do have, remember Mary Shelton? She's checked in a few times on the show. I talked to her about her daughter. I guess she has written a book, and, do I have it? Did she give it to me? Shoot. I'll have to text her to see if I have a copy of it. But anyway, she wrote a book, and she's going to be on the show on Monday. I told her just come on. She is very, very shy about the whole thing. So she's got a great heart. She's really, she loves her daughter, and she doesn't want to. She's kind of kept it, as a badge of things that she keeps moving forward with, want to be advocate of things and do things for others because she's, working with her kid and all that. So anyway, so she'll be on the show on Monday, and I just wanted to let you guys know she'll be on here. She's got, like I said, she's a great person. She wrote herself a book, and she asked me, because she was called being very shy about it, and I was like, she's like, can I come on your show for just a little bit, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. She goes, are you sure? And I'm like, yes. It's like let's do this thing. So, it's a big deal for her, and I hope you guys look forward to it as well as I do. I met her in Middle Tennessee, and I met her when I was in Pigeon Forge there. working with Brighteon, and met her through some of the Patriot groups. Now, I'll tell you guys, there's some Tennessee, they were getting it done when I was out there. They were really putting together the meetings and they were very committed to the community of things. So like I was only out there for a few months doing that with them, but anyway, that just all worked out that I'm back here again doing this thing with you guys. It's good stuff. Dave Glevin says the secret in life is drink coffee and have fun. So now you know. Well, there you go. I do have a coffee here with me today. This is our it's Illy brand. Illy, if you guys could get together and send me a box of coffee, that'd be really great. And I would talk about your coffee each time I drink it. Anyway, so good stuff out there. I just wanted to talk about those few things. Let's see what else we got here. And going back to the Scott Bassett of things, I look forward to seeing what he's going to come out with, because I do believe that he's that guy. He's the guy you want to be your treasurer. I don't know. He will never tell you he'll never tell another soul what your bank balance is. Ever. It doesn't matter. Never tell. Because to him, it doesn't even matter, because it's not even a conversation that could be had. He doesn't even think about what the number really is. He just wants to make sure the number is accurate. It's where it should be. It's protected. It's staying yours. You have access to it. No one else. And he believes in that sanctity of that. And not to be manipulated by governments, and not to be, and believes that, even though being the treasurer, I think he understands the morality of what that is and how it does end up creeping into people's lives and can be very beneficial but very destructive as well. But anyway, I hope he does well. So I'm looking forward to it. All right. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen, the Foo Fighters, Dave Matthews. They're going to do Power to the People Protest Festival. Sounds like a lot of fun. Now, okay, do you remember when we had the whole, it was the compensation fund for anything that you could fill out documentation and show where you were victimized by a weaponized political party, and say, these are the things that I experienced because of these political parties, and this is what I think that value is. Well, Clinton judge has now blocked it. So, I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know which way you want to take it. I don't know if that's a good thing, bad thing, good for us, bad for them. Good for them, bad for us. I don't know. It just gets a little old. And in Minnesota, underneath Tim Walz there, one of his appointed judges, or someone that he probably has an arm length with, has now been caught berating white people for being white. So I'm paraphrasing. I don't know what I'm talking about whatsoever. I'm just making that up. But anyway, looks like she's been suspended. So maybe there's something about what I just said. Maybe there's part of it that's accurate. Maybe I just made it all up. I don't know. But there is a judge who seemed to have been picking on a particular brand of people and is no longer able to judge. And I will tell you right now, guys, this is why I named today's episode Judge 444 on the clock. Judges, is I do see ourselves meandering and pushing back into where it seems like judges are making all these decisions and they're put in charge of things that I really am not really sure if we're really getting the value of this, and too much of our life is litigation. Now, I understand that there are certain things that if you can, I mean, if you're doing your product, whatever, someone dies, using like, oh, I sell apples, someone eats an apple, they die. If I'm not molesting that apple in a way that then causes people to choke, then I don't know why I would be liable for that. But somehow in our society, we have figured out how to blame everybody for everything. And the idea that keeps judges and lawyers just employed and that whole judicial system propped up really should scare the pants off of you. That we're always trying to find someone to blame. Oh, you were driving along and this person was on a bike. You didn't see them, they didn't have reflectors on. They didn't have their high vis on. They were in the middle of the street, but you were the motorist. They're the bike. You're going manslaughter. Guys, I don't know why we think we have to charge everybody with everything. I don't know why when you go to a house that has a domestic violence call that someone has to go to jail. I don't understand the math of that and why we have done that to ourselves. I get it. There are times we can make better decisions and do better things, but when we keep giving all this power over to judges just to wildly, the DAs and the judges and the GAs and the judges and the judges and the DAs and the DA and then, the attorney and then there's it's just it's all incestuous. Because here's the thing, guys. If they didn't make up all these crimes and if they didn't overcharge, would the judges and the lawyers have anything to do? I mean, be honest with yourself. Seriously, if we honestly didn't try to overdo everything, if we were just coming in at honest and being authentic, would these judges, lawyers, and DAs have so much to do? And by the way, do we need 29, 30 bazillion DAs? Do we need all the special, oh yeah, Jim, there's horrible, heinous crime. Oh God, I get it. I didn't say get them all out of there, but why don't we kind of narrow it down? Why don't we get serious about the crimes that we know should be serious about and not overcharging ones that we think we can get a check mark on our, I got one more conviction, I win, I get a plate set now. I'm looking for the pots and pans. Hopefully I get next quarter I'll get the pots and pans set, like a bunch of stamp club stuff. But they're doing it on the backs of people. Why? We have given so much power over to Supreme Courts. We've given so much power over to judges and lawyers. Oh, I gotta get a lawyer. Oh, I gotta get the cops. Oh, I gotta get a judge. I mean, how many judges are paid off? All of them. Republican, Democrat, I don't care who you are. You can lie to me all day long. Go ahead. Look at the judges fund. Look at the backside fund on judges. Don't give me that crap. I'm not playing anymore. That's ridiculous. I didn't say I'm playing anymore. It's like I threatened you, but guys, there's more to this. All these things are going on. People are really they're just nibbling away at us at their little bit of cheese that they're getting, and which is to them a lot, but it's the whole system that just sucks down on us. And they're like, oh, I'm only getting a cheeseburger out of the deal. I'm not getting a boat. Bill's got an airplane out of the deal. I'm just trying to get a little cheese. The problem is that the cheese that they take is so huge when taken from the citizen, the individual who is affected by that overcharging, the overreach, the overpush of laws, that's where the destruction of society works, and they don't realize that they think they're just trying to, so they can just have a little of their own security. They have their public job. Well, I went to a lawyer. I'm a Harvard graduate. I got to be a... See, my problem is I think a lot of what we've done in our worlds around us, and in fact, I even had a conversation with George, my dad, about this today. We were talking about how, and one of the things that he was doing to maneuver fish up and down through the different locks and things they needed to maneuver these fish, which allow them to be able to maintain a natural pattern of migration, a government entity came along and said no. And so the problem is, guys, is that we really, I don't know, if we gotta do some realignment of things. Because if some government agency can come in and just say no, but yet the entire logic of everything says yes, but some guy's just trying to keep his $12 an hour job, his $20 an hour job. I mean, guys, listen. There are things that you pay for in your life through federal regulations that is literally keeping about 200 or 300 people in a job. And you're paying billions of dollars because these 200 or 300 people get to regulate this one segment that makes it more expensive for diesel fuel to get to you. It's literally it. That's, guys, if you start really looking into how many things are saved to try to keep 2 or 3 people in jobs, we got to keep the jailers and we got to keep the policemen. How about we just stop? How about we do some weeding out, right? Do some honesty of things. Do some reality of it, huh? How about we do that? But no, we can't do that. It's not. We can't. Truth is not where we live, Jim. We live in fantasy. Well, anyway, guys, the world we live in. And George, great talking to you today. My dad, we've started talking kind of here and there, and it's good to see him or get to talk to him on the phone. He was at work today, so got to hear him as he was walking around the properties that he works with. And anyway, yes, last Friday we did confirm that he is my dad, and I did send him It's a Boy teddy bear and balloon. So I did do that for him. I thought that was kind of funny. I was hoping it was going to get there on Friday, but they didn't deliver it until Tuesday. So anyway, so I just thought it was going to be a funny thing that would show up on the same day that we found out. Anyway, he's been very good about it. Let's continue to see where that goes. But yes, George is my dad, and so we'll kind of work on that as we go through things. And I don't think he minds that I had told everybody he's my dad, but anyway, it's been a heck of a last month and a half or so working through all these things, and we'll see how it continues. But just thought I'd fill you in. That was a story from him about the fishing thing because he actually worked on that. So, all right, guys, remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, less have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast, do not give up, do not give in, we'll win. I promise I can't keep, guys. You've always been the answer out there. Remember that Constitution? Well, that always limits the government, but never limits you. Know where your authority is, know who your power is. Do not give in to people. And by the way, authority is given. You give authority. You realize that, right? You give authority. Authority can't be taken unless it's done by force. That's how that works. All right, guys, that's about it for me. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys all be good to each other out there, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.